Welcome back to another episode. This is Layla, and today we are talking about why poverty demons do not like goddesses. So I'm going to explain as well what I mean by poverty demon. When it comes to poverty, of course, it is a form of entity that creates this illusion of disconnection from source. When someone has an entity that's operating through the fractures of their egoic mind, so that's how entities work, especially if someone drinks alcohol as well, that's how entities can take possessions of them as well. That's why we call them in French spiritueux. So it's basically spirits. It literally tells you in the word. There's a type of alcohol called gin, so that's a form of demon. And so most people are uneducated about this, so they don't know. They drink, they don't understand the connections. And what happens is that when someone has a poverty demon that's operating them, they're very negative. They don't see that they're still, because you cannot get disconnected from source ever. And so that's why when a woman embodies her divine feminine energy, it is useless to argue or to even be in the presence of a man that is spiritually broken. They're not really broken, it's an illusion, but still they have the illusion of being broken. And therefore, usually what entities do, like their only goal is to waste time. It's basically to create distractions in the goddess's life. So the more they create distractions, the more they create problems and issues, the more a woman is not going to be focused on, resting, being happy, focusing on how she wants to serve the world in her own way. She's not going to be focused on her own happiness and joy. She's going to be focused on dealing with that broke, dusty bum, because that's what he is. And that's it. Like this man, if she allows it, this man is going to argue with her until they both die. That's what it is. So the best thing to do as a woman, if you're, on your spiritual journey, however you want to call it, you're just focusing on yourself and you're focusing on improving yourself, your life, your physical appearance, your emotional intelligence, however you want to, work on that. It is primordial. It's important that you do not have any poverty demons around you, because they're going to be wasting your time and they're going to be siphoning your energy with your attention, because there's this expression that says where attention goes, energy flows. So even if you're like, well, I'm not sleeping with him, or, I'm just like texting him or whatever, like I'm just talking to him on the phone, blah, blah, blah. Whatever interaction you're having with him, as soon as you give him your attention, you're giving him power, you're giving him energy, because that's the only way he can exist, if you give him attention. So the best thing to do when you deal with a poverty demon is to block them and throw the key in the lake and never look back, all right? Because these men, first of all, no one can be rescued. Like, they have to rescue themselves. They have to come to the conclusion themselves that they're done with suffering and being angry. And, if they really want to end the generational curse that they have to do it on their own. A woman cannot do it for them. If a woman does it for him, like let's say in a more like practical way, like if a woman gets into a relationship where, she builds with a man, she, pays half of the bills or most of them or any bills she touches, right? He's going to be exploiting her energy and exploiting her. He's going to be a parasite. He's going to be siphoning her energy. And the reason why poverty demons do not like goddesses is because those are opposite frequencies. Poverty demons operate with the lowest type of frequency, which is fear, subconscious fear. That's how they feed themselves. That's why these entities attach themselves to men that are highly traumatized, that are always operating in fear, that are in survival mode in their daily life, basically. Because that's food for them. They feed off that. And so when they're able to not only feed themselves off of them, but also feed themselves off of the divine feminine energy, which is basically candy for them, especially if she's in fear, if she fears that man, if she fears, the bills coming up, like whatever fear she has, they can also siphon her energy through that man. You know what I'm saying? So poverty demons do not like goddesses because when a woman is a goddess, when she embodies her higher self on earth, however you want to call that, that it's the same thing. When she is her higher self on earth, she knows that she is money. Like she is never broke. She's never in poverty because she is money. And so if she loves herself, then money loves her. It's her. And she understands that abundance comes from her. And she can also look around and see nature and all the trees and all the leaves and all the stars in the sky. And she can see and she knows that we live in an abundant universe. Therefore, poverty is an illusion. It's a subconscious fear. It's a generational curse. And so demons do not like women who understand that because they cannot play games on them. They cannot siphon their energy. They cannot manipulate them. They can't do shit with them. So they don't like goddesses. They don't like women with boundaries that just block them with no explanation. They want to argue because even with arguing with someone creates energetically, it creates a similar dynamic than sex. It's very similar. And it feeds them. So please, I see a lot of women arguing with men on social media in the comments. Ignore them, block them, delete them. Just ignore their existence, because if you ignore them, they're not going to exist anymore. It's your reality. If you block them, they do not exist. They cannot siphon your energy, because that's also something they could do from a distance. But if you block them, if you ignore them, if you laugh at them, they're gone. They're just gone. All right. So that's it for today's episode. Let me know if you have any questions about what I said, and I'll see you in the next one.